Hello students, good morning to all of you. Welcome to this virtual class. Last period we are discussing different forms of markets, that is perfect competition market, monopoly market and imperfect competition market. In this imperfect competition market there is that monopolistic market, oligopoly market and duopoly market. And in oligopoly we have already discussed, that is the pure oligopoly and differentiated oligopoly, and another is that collusive oligopoly and non-collusive oligopoly. So in that market, how that price will be determined? In different competition market, how that price will be determined, that is called the determination of market equilibrium. Determination of market equilibrium, because there is the perfect competition market, imperfect competition market, monopoly, monopolistic competition market, duopoly, oligopoly. What is equilibrium? First of all, we have to know that what is equilibrium. Equilibrium means that at what prices, how much is the demand in the market, that much is the supply in the market, that is to be called that equilibrium. Remember it. Equilibrium price is that price at which sellers of a good are willing to sell the same quantity which the buyers of the goods are willing to buy. Or how much goods are produced by producers, that much goods are to be sold in the market at what prices, that price is to be called that equilibrium price. So in market equilibrium, we have already known in imperfect competition markets, that is in monopolistic markets, what market is prevailing now, that is called that monopolistic market. There are the large number of buyers and sellers. Differentiated products, we have already known. And whenever the differentiated product, the price may be vary, there is no uniform price. And there is the pre-entry and pre-exit of the markets. So whenever there is the pre-entry and pre-exit the markets, so when that any firms will suffer the loss, at that time we will quit from the market, and when there is the supernormal profits or the abnormal profits, at that time the firm will enter to that market and they will gain that profits. So this profit and loss we have already discussed. So far that average cost is concerned, marginal cost is concerned, and marginal revenue is concerned, and average revenue concerns. But today we will discuss how that equilibrium price will be determined. Before we discuss that equilibrium market or price determinations, we must know the shape of the demand curve and shape of the supply curves. We have already known there is the inverse relationship between price of a goods and quantity demand of the goods. And similarly, when there is that supply, there must be that supply. When the price rises, supply rises, and supply curve also move upwards. So there is a direct relationship between price and supply of a goods. In that case, which way will determine that equilibrium price? Remember it. So we have already cleared first demand. We have already cleared the meaning of the demand, shape of the demands. We have already cleared the supply, different supplies, perfectly elastic, perfectly inelastic, more than unitary elastic, less than unitary elastic. These are the different measures also. Percentage change in quantity demand divided percentage change in price in the demand, and percentage change in supply also similarly, that is delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. All we have already known. So the process of determination of equilibrium price has to be studied under the three headings. One is the demand, another is the supply, and another is the equilibrium between demand and supply. Equilibrium between demand and supply. How that equilibrium will be determined in between the demand and supply. because the equilibrium price is the price at which demand and supply are equal to each other. That is to be called that equilibrium price. So how that equilibrium will be determined? For example, I am giving the example. There is an inverse relationship between price and quantity demands. See it. Price of X goods and quantity of demand of X goods. Price can, quantity of demand is, let it be that 20 units. Price increases 11 rupees. Quantity of demand may be that 15 units. Price increases 12 rupees. Quantity of demand may be that 10 units. This is as per that law of demand is concerned, and it's the demand series. If I will draw this diagram, in this case, see it. OX axis quantity of demand of X goods, and OY axis is the price of X goods. I will draw that 10 units, 15 units, 20 units, 25 units, and price is 10, 11, 12, 13 like this. So price is 10, 20 units. Price is 11, 15 units. Price is 12, 10 units. So this is the shape of the demand curve. It is the demand curves. Clear? Similarly, price of X goods and quantity of supply of X goods. Price 10, quantity of supply 10. This is given in rupees, this is given in units. Remember it. This is rupees, this is units. Price 11, quantity supply increases to 15. Price 12, quantity supply increases to 20 units. So if I will draw this supply curve, 10, 11, 15 and 12 with that 20. So this will be the shape of the supply curve. SS is the supply curve. It is clear? So at 11 rupees, that is the E is the point which is to be called the equilibrium point. E is the point which is to be called the equilibrium points. At that 11 rupees, how much quantity demand? 15 units. And how much quantity supply? 15 units. This is to be called the equilibrium. Clear? When price is 10, quantity demand is 20 and quantity of supply is 10. Demand is 20, supply is 10. So this much, which is to be known as the excess demand. These points, suppose this is the T and T1, which is to be known that excess demands. Because how much is the excess? 20 minus 10, ये हो गया हमारा, this is the excess demand. Similarly, if at the price of rupees 12, quantity demand is 10 and quantity supply is 20. This is to be called that excess supply. This is called that excess supply. So in our case, suppose this is that P and this is that Q. So if I will say that OX axis represents the quantity of demand of X goods and quantity of supply of X goods. This is the quantity of demand of X goods and quantity of supply of X goods. And OX represents the price of X goods and OP is to be called the equilibrium price, where DD demand curve intersects to SS supply curve at E points. I will write there another point. E is the equilibrium price. E is the equilibrium point where DD demand curve intersects to SS supply curve, and OQ is the equilibrium quantity. That means how much is the demand, that much is the supply. That OQ is to be called that equilibrium quantity, and OP is to be called that equilibrium price. So it means at the price of 11 rupees, at the price of 11 rupees, that 15 units are demanded in the markets and 15 units are supplied in the markets in our diagram. If the price will be 10 rupees, so at that time quantity of demand will be 20 and quantity of supply will be 10. That means the demand and supply both are not equal. It means that supply is less than demand. Or we may say that demand is greater than supply. So whenever demand is more than supply, then it is to be called that excess demand. Or if that supply is less, it is called that deficient supply, excess demand or deficient supply. But at 11 rupees, 15 units demand, 15 units supply. So here is the DD equal to SS. This is called the equilibrium point, or how much is the demand, that much is the supply. How much the demand, that much is the supply. So here that at rupees 11, that will be called the equilibrium price, because how much is the demand, that much the supply, and DD demand curve and SS supply curve intersect each other. The focus demand and supply determine the price of a commodity, and equilibrium price will be determined where the quantity demand is equal to quantity supply, and this OP is to be called that market price or equilibrium of that market price, where the demand equal to supply. How much is the demand, that much is to be supplied. So this price has tendency to persist in the market. If at a price the market demand is not equal to market supply, there will be either excess demand or excess supply. If the demand is not equal to supply, then either it may be that excess demand or excess supply. It means either price will be more, then supply will be more, demand will be less, then that is called the excess supply. If price will be less, there will be more demand, supply will be less, then that is called the excess demand. So this situation will be occur if that demand is not equal to supply. And the price will have tendency to change it until it settles once again at a point where market demand equals to market supply. So that saddle here, that or this saddle shows that what is the excess demand and what is the excess supply. So with regard to this analysis, we can say that what is that market equilibrium price? That equilibrium price can be determined by the help of that market forces, that is the demand and the supply. Or we may say that price will be determined by the help of the market forces, by the help of the demand and supply, demand of a goods and supply of a goods. So that is to be called that equilibrium price. So whenever we are discussing the equilibrium price, so for the determination of market equilibrium is concerned, we should know that there will be the competition among the buyers and it will push up the price. Rise in the price will result that fall in the market demand and rise in the market supply if that price will rise. This is the condition, this is the nature, this is the habit of a consumers and a producers. We have already known in the demand chapter the behavior of the individual that whenever price falls, the demand will rise. Why does demand curve slope downward? Because we have already known law of diminishing marginal utility, income effect, substitution effect, and price effects. And similarly, when the price increases, supply increases. That is that we have already known that producers wants to that get maximum profits. When you will sell that more and more output, you will get that more and more profits because the cost of production will remain same. So with regard to this, we can say that this is the nature of the buyers. Whenever the price rises, demand falls. When the price falls, demand rises. Similarly, nature of the producer is that when price increases, supply increases, price decreases, supply decreases. So sometimes there is that demand curve always slope downwards, but supply curve move upwards. The producers will not supply the goods below that prices, which is to be called the reserve price. I have already said, but don't remember reserve price. Or sometimes the demand and supply may not intersect each other. That is to be called that non-viable industries. In non-viable industries, one which will not produce the product in any economy, it may be because cost of the product is too high and the consumers are not willing to pay a price that will cover that cost. Examples of that commercial articles is non-viable industry in India. In this case, demand and supply curve will not intersect, which in our examples. It means, what did I say? Suppose this is the equilibrium price. Sometimes it occurs like this. This is called the non-viable industry. It is not possible because that demand and supply curve does not intersect. This is the supply curve and this is the demand curve. You have SS supply curve and this one is the DD, the demand curve. SS supply curve and DD demand curve. Here is that point, see that supply curve move upwards and demand curve slope downwards. But previously there was demand and supply both intersect each other, but here the supply and demand do not intersect each other. So how we determine that equilibrium price? That means we can say that this situation is to be called that non-viable industry in which that demand and supply do not intersect each other. Here that supply curve starts from this point and demand curve starts from this point. They do not intersect each other. This is to be called the non-viable industry. So what do you mean non-viable industry? Non-viable industry is one which will not produce the product in an economy. It may be because cost of the product is too high and the consumers are not willing to pay that much price that will cover the cost. So that case is to be called that non-viable industry, or demand and supply, they don't intersect each other. Although the as per law, demand curve slope downwards and supply curve move upwards. But certain cases it is that demand and supply does not intersect each other, so it is to be called that non-viable industry cases. So sometimes demand changes, sometimes supply changes. Because we have already known change demand and change in supply. That is that whenever demand curve shifts rightwards, that is called that increase in demand. When demand curve shifts towards the left, that is called that decrease in demand. Similarly, when that supply curve shifts toward the right, increase in supply, and whenever supply curve shifts toward the left, that is called the decrease in supply. We have already known. So whenever this condition will be happened, so how we will determine the equilibrium price? that is most important. So that is to be called that effects of changes in demand and supply on equilibrium price. Effects of changes in demand and supply on equilibrium price. It means supply change and demand changes. So before we analyze, you must go through your books at home that change in demand and change in supply. Change in demand and change in supply. That means one is this is the demand curve. This is the demand curve. This is to be called that D1 increase in demand curve, and this is to be called that D2 decrease in demand curve. Similarly, we have already known that this is the supply curve, SS is the supply curve, S1 is the increase in supply curve, and S2 is the decrease in supply curve. So we have already known change in demand is divided into two parts. One is increase in demand, another is the decrease in demand. One is the increase in demand, another is similarly D1 is to be called that increase in demand curve, and D2 is to be known as decrease in demand curve. Similarly, here is change in supply. Change in supply, one is increase in supply, another is the decrease in supply. Increase in supply and decrease in supply. So S1 which is to be known as increase in supply curve, or S2 is to be known as decrease in supply curve. Increase in supply curve and decrease in supply curve. So dear students, next period we will start how in these cases demand increases, supply constant. Demand decreases, supply is constant. How that equilibrium price will be determined. Similarly, both demand and supply increases and decreases, how the price will be determined. And similarly, both supply decreases, demand decreases, how the equilibrium price will be determined. And we have already known in case of the perfect elastic demands, supply increases, how the price will be determined. All this you have to know if you are previously clear about the shape of the supply curve, measurement of the supply curve, or we may say the different types of elasticity supply and elasticity demands. You must go through the book, then tomorrow we will start that changes occur, how that equilibrium price will be determined in different cases. Thank you very much.